It's me, Bunny Rabbit Lives, and I am here to entertain y'all. And right now, we're gonna be just chatting for a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like we usually do. Hello. How are y'all doing? It's me, Bunny Rabbit Lives. Today, my Tamagotchi almost died for real. I'm playing this game and it's super addictive. So I had an old phone, guys, and honestly, it feels very bulky compared to the phone that I have now, but they're about the same size, I think. Oh wait, maybe I should like say that I'm gonna be reading soon or something. But I posted a poll in my community tab. If y'all see it, feel free to interact with it and let me know what you think. Honestly, I like both. I like reading for y'all and chatting with y'all and gaming with y'all. So either way, it's fine. The thing is that gaming takes more energy than the reading, right? At least for me, I feel like, cause it's a lot. You have to focus on the game as well as like what to say and chat and everything. Um, but with the reading, I could just like focus on like chatting a bit with y'all and then reading and then chatting again and then that's it. And then it's super nice and easy for me, but because I work and stuff. But once I am able to, I'm actually planning because like I'm seeing that people are saying they like my game streams more. So I'm like, trying to plan around that as well. So maybe in the future I could do more gaming, but also like still do this for y'all because it seems like we both enjoy it. Like not just reading, but also chatting and stuff, interacting with y'all, as well as planning special things. I like doing that for y'all. And it's very fun for me. Hi, Mayu. How are you doing? Are you doing good? Thank you for saying hi. I'm gonna post on a short on Monday about I don't know if y'all have seen my Kingdom Hearts playthrough, but Vexen? Oh, ooh, I hate that guy. Vexen was so hard to beat. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna post a short about that on Monday. If y'all understand Spanish and like old music, y'all will know what it's about or where it's coming from, but it's crazy, really. And I will soon be starting to read this chapter. Honestly, guys, if I do more gaming content, that means that y'all will see less of my character, right? And that's the thing that I'm thinking about right now. I'm thinking like, oh, we both like to see each other, right? We both like our games, right? So I'm like, hey, I could do gaming twice a week if I get 3 days off like I want. Gaming twice a week and then reading once a week. I could try that. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure, honestly. I would really have to plan around it. But also, I have a lot of ideas to make videos about, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, now, we gotta find the time. Because honestly, I have too many hobbies, guys. Too many. But yeah. And also, Elijah almost died today. You hear that? That's him. He's alive. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. I'm addicted to Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town at the moment, and so I'm like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Because my Elijah almost had zero hunger. I was like, oh my gosh. So now what I'm gonna do is just play with him for a little bit, okay? And then I'm gonna start reading, yeah? One. So in this mini game that I'm playing with Elijah right now is you're supposed to get all of the music notes in the bag, but right now I'm like concentrating, and if somebody chats, I might fail, but that's okay because I decided to do this, so it's fine. Baby comes first though, just saying. Let me see. And I'm at 44. I need to get 99. It's super close. So don't worry, guys. I'll be right with you. Oh my goodness. Bam, 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 bam. Have y'all heard the original of that? We are farmers. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, I'm from that era. Ooh. Hello. I am playing with my Tamagotchi right now, but my Tamagotchi, they're fine. Okay, right now I'm like trying to get it at a good spot, and it was at a good spot. I mean, he's kind of big now. He's 33 kg, I think, which is different from pounds. He's a Tamagotchi. You're supposed to keep them at a certain weight, or they're like unhealthy and they get sick, and then they're more likely to die. So I try my best to keep it healthy. How are you doing? And what are you up to? I really like Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town right now. I don't know if y'all have played that game, but it's a really cozy farming simulator. Except that it takes, like, the days last super short. But you know what? I'm getting better at it. And if you make friends with the sprites, they help you in your farm if you ask them. So I think that's pretty good. I think that would make it super easy for me. But I'm playing on normal mode, not easy mode, so. Which is really odd for me, guys, because usually I play everything on easy mode. Would y'all like to see more Kingdom Hearts? I feel like I kind of want to play more Kingdom Hearts recently, too. I've been playing a lot of games, like, halving them instead of finishing them. I really need to stop doing that. I really need to, though. And then, right now, I'm making a video about collector's editions. Well, not like right now as we speak, but like I'm planning one for when we hit 400 subscribers. Geometry Dash. Do you need a PC to play that? Because sadly I don't have a PC. I do everything on my phone or on my PlayStation 5. So yeah. I don't have a lot to work with. On mobile, Geometry Dash. How does the game play? Because like I said, everything, guys, from thumbnail making, video making, these streams right here that y'all are watching as we speak, all on my phone, all mobile. So if I do that, see, that's also why I don't play mobile games, because if I do, then y'all will not be able to see my avatar. But I have come to realize that y'all prefer watching video games. So I also like doing that. And so we could all have fun. Hmm. But today I will be reading, so yeah. But then, guys, the book is almost done. I don't know how long it will take me to read, because I feel like I read kind of slow, not gonna lie. I try to voice every character differently. Bible study? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I do believe in God. I'm just not, what's that word? I'm not part of any dominion, if that's what it's called. I don't know. So I do believe in God. I do believe there is a higher power out there, both good and evil. I do believe in the devil, and I do believe in God. So yeah. But that's it. That's it. That's all I'm willing to say on that. Um, right now, I am reading a fantasy book, The Last Unicorn. So yeah. And I feel like this one's gonna make me cry, not gonna lie, this chapter. It might. OMG, Bunny, I finally found your live stream. Oh my gosh, welcome back, Nivea. Or Nevea? Is that how you say it? Welcome back. Hi. Yeah. I'm glad you found my live stream because I've been missing y'all guys. I've been missing you. For real. Um but you're like the nicest person ever to exist. Oh, thank you. I'm not always that nice. I am human. So we can be mean sometimes too. Yes. I can be mean sometimes too. It depends on the day, how I wake up, you know? I am a person who can be both nice and mean. Yes? Don't put like super high expectations on me, please. Cuz then y'all will be disappointed, okay? But it's fine. As long as like see, if we're mean to each other and we say sorry, that's all that matters. Yeah. Yeah. Cuz like and we mean it. We got to mean it. We can't just be like beep, sorry. You got to be like, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I called you a beep, I was upset." You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But in terms of like being nice, what do you guys think being nice is? So, is being nice like self-sacrificing, forgiving, or is it like just caring about people and yourself and, stuff like that? Or what is being kind compared to nice? You know what I'm saying? Have y'all thought about that? Yeah, yeah. Like, there's so many things that equal, I feel good. Like, because you can be good or bad or both, right? Because we're human, so we are both, right? But what makes somebody nice and what makes somebody caring and kind? Like, that, what is that people apply that meaning to those words? And what makes you become those words? You know what I'm saying? I'm at like it's not hard to be nice. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I get you. I get you. But that's like my question when I think about that. I'm like, really? If you think about it, there's so many ways that somebody could interpret it, somebody being nice, right? Like, let's go, your mama. Hey, thank you for stopping by. How are you doing? We're talking about niceness and kindness. You got no friends? Okay, so look, Nevea, here's the thing. If you're like in a younger grade, like say from kinder to middle school, like, it is really hard to make friends, especially if you're like one of those people who don't really match with the people around you. If you're like from a small town or something and you have like different ideas from like the norm, let's put up a cash app, or we can donate because you want to do this not for free, you want to get paid, right? I do want to get paid. I just have to do my research on how to make that happen, like, so I can stay anonymous, because I am scared to get stalkers. Yeah, for real. Um, but see, Nivea, I had the same experience you did when I was younger. I also had trouble making friends. And as I got older, see, online it's super easy, I feel like, because you find people really easily who align with what you believe in and what you think, because, you just share what you think, and people might or might not think the same. But in real life, I still struggle with that, making friends. Um, I do have real life friends now. You make them in high school, actually. I made mine in high school, and then I graduated, and we still talk sometimes from time to time. Um, but I'd like to make more because I moved away from them, and so it's hard for me to like make friends as well. Not because what's it called? Not because of anything odd to say. Um, I would say at work it's kind of hard because I'm too serious at work. But say in a random place like on the street or whatever, I can spark up a conversation with anybody about anything really. But that doesn't make somebody your friend. You see what I mean? Like, friendship is something so deep, you know? Like, if you have a true friendship, and I still like living far away from my friends, it's hard to find something that I had like that with them here. Because for me, friendships are super deep. Like, for me, it's like, oh, you need help, I'm here for you no matter what. Or like, even if I do reply late, I'm like, okay, girl, here, I did the research. This is it. This is what you need, or what I think will help you. Like, I try my best, to help my friends. Because I feel like friendship in itself is a very soul connecting thing. Kind of like, you know how with your partner it's like different because there's like emotional and physical connection there? Like, you know what I mean? With your friends, it's purely emotional. It's purely like platonic, and it's just pure, Friendship is very important because you don't have any debts. You shouldn't have any debts, or any, you don't owe each other anything. You're just with each other, helping each other because you care about one another. And that is very hard to find nowadays. Yeah, at least I believe so. And so don't worry about not having friends right now. Just make sure that you keep staying true to yourself, and your people will find you. Just like mine's found me. Even if they are busy, they still care about you. You just have to make time for each other at least like once a week or a month or something, so that y'all know that y'all are there for each other and y'all don't feel left out. Me and furries, I thought they were nice. I thought so. You know what? I thought furries were really cool because they had like the guts to dress however they want. Because you have to be really brave to step out of the norm and like dress like that. Also, oh my gosh, you just beat Tartarus. Congratulations. Does that mean you're playing Persona 3? I love Persona. Guys, oh my god. One of my favorite games is Persona Q on the 3DS. Yeah, some are nice. Yeah, so as I said in the before, people can be good and bad. There's good and bad apples everywhere, and you just have to weed out the bad ones because if you let them get to you, you're cooked. Like, you really like, we gotta keep the whimsy up, guys. We gotta we can't let them push us down. No. Oh, on Geometry Dash. Okay, my bad. I thought you were talking about Tartarus from Persona, the tower. That's a really cool one. I really like Persona. But since I hardly play mobile games, like I have to really do my research on what games are on mobile if y'all want to see those because I don't really play mobile games. It's hard for me to finish any mobile game on my phone. Like I played Heartopia for a little bit and then I was like, nah. And then I had Infinity Nikki on there too, but I was like, nah. And then now I play it on the PlayStation 5 only. Oh, I have issues. You said you suck at Geometry Dash? Is it math related? I will probably be bad too. I'm on PC. You should watch the level. Oh, actually, sadly, I don't own a PC. At least not yet. Maybe in, 100 years. Just kidding. But yeah, are y'all staying hydrated? Don't forget. But yeah, no, not at all related to math. Geometry sounds like math though. I was really good at geometry back then. It's because I like the teacher. Like search up Tartarus, of course. I can't. I'm using both my phones to chat on here. And watch a video. Maybe after this, I will do that. But at the moment, I'm like, I don't know, because that sounds pretty math to me. And I only work on Whimsy, okay? If we all get together and make like a freaking what's it called? Like a city or whatever, I'll be the one painting the walls rainbow or something. And then somebody else can handle all that math stuff. Somebody else can handle all the what is that called? Um wait, what is it called? Societal stuff, the laws or whatever. And watch a video. But yeah, guys, honestly, all that all that about furries and stuff, I think they're really cool. I actually think everyone who dresses alternatively is cool because, you know, they're not following the trends. They're doing what they want to do. They're being true to themselves, and I love honest people. I love people who are true and loud about it. But yeah. So if y'all have people who are being mean to you for being yourself, then you could just distance yourself from them because if they come and look for you, then they're looking for that smoke. And that's on them, not on you. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're looking for you, that's on them. Like there has to be something wrong with them because if they don't like you, why are they coming to you? You know what I'm saying? Where's that logic, guys? Where is it? I do not know. Yo, hello, Riley. How are you doing? Bunny, have you ever tried Mexican snacks where it has Doritos, avocado, Valentina, tomato in it? No, actually, because me, don't judge me, guys. Okay, don't. I don't like cheese. Sorry. I really don't. I do not like cheese. I can eat some of it. I like cheese on nachos, and I like cheese on Cheeto Puffs, and I like cheese on crackers, and I like cream cheese, and yo, hello, Bunny. Have you ever tried? But I have tried Mexican candy, like the spicy ones and the salty ones, like the fresita goma, and I like their gummies. The spicy ones, they're really nice. I have a joke. Do you want to hear it? Is it a nice joke? Is it funny? Is it is it actually funny? I want to hear it, but only if it's nice. But do you know what I like? Conchitas preparadas. I like that. Do you know what that is? They're like the little yellow chips that are like sprayed with salt, right? They have salt on them. And then you put them in like a little paper bowl and you put them with cheese. You put jalapenos in it sometimes, and then you put what else? Lemon and mayo, and then you put tahini on it, and it tastes super good. I love it. You can say the joke, Riley, as long as it's nice. But yeah, guys. Speaking of food, like stuff that you like, what do y'all think about cheesecake? I really like cheesecake, but I can't eat it before I do something. You know what I mean? I can't eat it before I work or before stream or for a movie. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. Wait, sorry. Um, I'm blind. I'm not wearing my glasses so that the avatar can pick up my eyes well. Sorry. Um, what's it called? Yeah, mouth watering, right? That's what I was thinking. I like T-bone as well. It's a special kind of meat, but I need to stop eating beef, honestly. I need to. I'm carnivorous, guys. I know. I know. I'm a bunny, but I'm carnivorous, you know? Actually, I really wanted to call this channel Bunny Rabbit, not Bunny Rabbit. I wanted to call it Bunnicula, but there's a children's book series called like that, so I couldn't do it. It would have been super nice though. You don't like cheesecake? Just kidding. Ain't no judgment here, girl. As long as you don't judge me for my cheese hating self, okay? Oh my gosh, I love cheesecake. Right? What's your favorite flavor? I like the sometimes I like the ones with cherry stripes, and other times I like the chocolate, and also, well, I like most of them. I like most of the cheesecake types. And then also, you know what what's it called? Wait. Uh bro, my brain just said not today. Wait. POV vegan people say taking a picture, but instead of saying cheese, they say lettuce instead of cheese. Lettuce? What do you think about lettuce? I think it has no flavor. It's just water. That's what I think. But you said you don't like cheesecake. Are you talking about tres leches? I don't like tres leches. Do y'all know what that is? That's like milk. That's like cake with like milk layers, I think. And it's made basically pure freaking milk, right? There's nothing wrong with that except for the fact that it becomes super soggy and nasty and I hate it. I'm like, ay, no, get it away from me. Lettuce just adds extra crunch. Right? That's what I think. I think it's all about the texture. Uh-huh. You said no like? No, please like. Guys, yes, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like what you see. Ayo. But yeah, what's it called? Would you rather say cheese or would you rather say lettuce? Me don't like lettuce. You don't like lettuce. Okay. Me? I like See, the only vegetable I like, I think might have to be potatoes. And are corn considered vegetables? Or are they like a fruit because of the seed or whatever? You like apples? It depends because there's like many different apples. Did you know that? Okay, so there's like I like the pink, like yellow ones that are kind of like sweet and sour at the same time. Those are the best apples, I think. Hey, already been done. Ayo. You like red apples. Red apples, they're nice. I feel like it depends on the red apple though. There's a lot of red apples, right? I like the crunchy ones. Because the ones that are like soft and like easy to bite and espesas, those are like I'm like I don't know about the texture. But there's like some red apples that are like really nice and crunchy. I don't like red apples. Are you talking about the espresso ones? The green are my favorite. Yeah. Yeah, I love sour. Okay, so if you talk about candy, I'm all about the sour candy. I'm all about that. Not super sweet, but like sweet and sour, sweet and spicy, stuff like that. I love spicy candy. But it's kind of bad. It could give you ulcers if you eat much of it, and especially if it's super spicy. But yeah. Okay, guys, we've been chatting for a while, so I will now be starting to read chapter 11 of The Last Unicorn. Yes? You like red and yellow apples that are crunchy. I like those too. I think those are like the ones that are like sweet and sour, right? Um, Feel free to chat amongst each other. I will be starting to read in a one, two, three, and I will be reading now. Prince Lur came home 3 days after he set out to slay the maiden Fancing Ogre, with the great axe of Duke Alban slung behind him and the ogre's head bumping at his saddlebow. He offered neither prize to the Lady Amalynthia, nor did he rush to find her with the monster's blood still brown on his hands. He had made up his mind, as he explained to Molly Grew in the scullery that evening, never more to trouble the Lady Amalynthia with his attentions, but to live quietly in the thought of her, serving her ardently until his lonely death, but seeking neither her company, her admiration, nor her love. I will be as anonymous as the air she breathes, he said, as invisible as the force that holds her on the earth. Thinking about it for a little, he added, I may write a poem for her now and then, and slip it under her door, or just leave it somewhere for her to chance upon, but I won't ever sign the poem. It's very noble, Molly said. She felt relieved that the prince was giving up his courtship, and amused as well, and somewhat sad. Girls like poems better than dead dragons and magic swords, she offered. I always did anyway, when I was a girl. The reason I ran off with Cully, but Prince Lur interrupted her, saying firmly, No, do not give me hope. I must learn to live without hope, as my father does, and perhaps we will understand each other at last. He dug into his pockets, and Molly heard paper crackling. Actually, I've already written a few poems about it. Hope and her, and so on. You might look them over if you wanted to. I'd be very pleased, Molly said. But will you never go out again then? To fight with black knights and ride through rings of fire? The words were meant teasingly, but she found as she spoke that she would have been a little sorry if it were so, for his adventures had made him much handsomer and taken off a lot of weight, and given him besides a hint of a musky fragrance of death that clings to all heroes. But the prince shook his head, looking almost embarrassed. Oh, I suppose I'll keep my hand in, he muttered. But it wouldn't be for the show of it, or for her to find out. It was like that at first, but you get into the habit of rescuing people, breaking enchantments, challenging the wicked duke in fair combat. It's hard to give up being a hero once you get used to it. Do you like the first poem? It certainly has a lot of feeling, she said. Can you really rhyme bloomed and ruined? It needs a bit of smoothing out, Prinsleur admitted. Miracle is the word I'm worried about. I was wondering about Grackle myself. No, the spelling, is it one R or two I's? Or the other way around? One R anyway, I think, Molly said. Schmendrick. For the magician had just stooped through the doorway. How many R's are in Miracle? Two, he answered wearily. It has the same root as mirror. Molly idled. Wait, what? Molly ladled him out a bowl of broth, and he sat down at the table. His eyes were hard and cloudy as jade, and one of the lids was twitching. I can't do this very much longer, he said slowly. It isn't this horrible place, and it isn't having to be listening for him all the time. I'm getting rather good at that. It's the wretched cheapjack flummery he has me perform for him. Hours on end. All night. Last night. I wouldn't mind if he asked for the real magic, or even for simple conjuring, but it's always the rings and the goldfish, the cards and the scarves, and the string. Exactly as it was in the Midnight Carnival. I can't do it. Not much more. But that was what he wanted for you, Molly protested. If he wanted real magic, If he wanted real magic, he'd have kept the old magician, that Mabrouk. Schmendrick raised his head and gave her a look that was almost amused. I didn't mean it like that, she said. Besides, it's only a little while until we find the way to the Red Bull that the cat told me about. She lowered her voice to a whisper as she spoke this last, and both of them glanced quickly over at Prinsleur. But he was sitting on a stool in the corner, evidently writing another poem. Gazelle, he murmured, tapping his pen against his lips. Demoiselle, Citadel, Asphodel, Philomel, Parallel, he chose, Farewell, and scribbled rapidly. We will never find the way, Schmendrick said very quietly. Even if the cat told the truth, which I doubt, Haggard will make sure we never have time to investigate the school and the clock. Why do you suppose he piles more work on you every day, if not to keep you from prowling and prying in the great hall? Why do you think he keeps me entertaining him with my carnival tricks? Why do you think he took me as wizard in the first place? Molly, he knows. I'm sure of it. He knows what she is, though he doesn't quite believe it yet. But when he does, he'll know what to do. He knows. I see it in his face sometimes. The lift of longing and the crash of loss, Prinsleur said. The bitterness of tumty umpty os. Cross. Boss. Moss. Damn. Smedrick leaned across the table. We can't stay here and wait for him to strike. The only hope we have is to escape at night, by sea, perhaps. If I can lay hold of a boat somewhere, the men-at-arms will look the other way, and the gate. But the others, she cried softly. How can we leave when she has come so far to find the other unicorns, and we know they are here? Yet one small, tender, treacherous part of her was suddenly eager to be convinced of the quest's failure, and she knew it, and was angry at Schmendrick. Well, but what about your magic? She asked. What about your own little research? Are you going to give up that now? Will she die in human shape, and you live forever? You might as well let the bull have her then. The magician sank back, his face gone as pale and crumpled as a washerwoman's fingers. It doesn't really matter, one way or the other, he said, almost to himself. She's no unicorn now. but a mortal woman, someone for that lout to sigh over and write poems about. Maybe Haggard won't find her out after all. She'll be his daughter, and he'll never know. That's funny. He put his soup aside, untasted, and leaned his head into his hands. I couldn't change her back into a unicorn if we did find the others, he said. There's no magic in me. Schmendrick, she began, but at that moment he jumped to his feet and rushed out the scullery, though she had not heard the king summon him. Prince Lur never looked up, but went on drumming meters and sampling rhymes. Molly hung the kettle over the fire for the sentry's tea. I've got it, all but the final couplet, Lur said presently. Do you want to hear it now, or would you rather wait? Whichever you'd like, she said, so he read it then, but she never heard a word of it. Fortunately, the men-at-arms came in before he had finished reading, and he was too shy to ask her opinion in their presence. By the time they left, he was working on something else, and it was very late when he bade her good night. Molly was sitting at the table holding her motley cat. The new poem was meant to be Sestina, and Prince Lur's head was jangling happily as he juggled the end words on his way up the stairs to his chamber. I will leave the first one at her door, he thought, and save the others until tomorrow. He was debating his original decision against singing his work, and playing with such pen names as The Knight of the Shadows and Le Chevalier Malamy, when he turned a corner and met the Lady Amalentia. She was coming down quickly in the dark, and when she saw him, she made a strange bleating sound and stood still, 3 steps above him. She wore a robe that one of the king's men had stolen for her in Hagsgate. Her hair was down and her feet were bare, and the sight of her on the stairs sent such sorrow licking along Prince Lur's bones that he dropped his poems and his pretenses together and actually turned to run. But he was a hero in all ways, and he turned bravely back to face her, saying in a calm and courtly manner, Give you good evening, my lady. And Lady Malentia stared at him through the gloom, putting out a hand but drawing it back before she touched him. Who are you? She whispered. Are you Rook? I'm Lur, he answered, suddenly frightened. Don't you know me? But she backed away. And it seemed to the prince that her steps were as flowing as an animal's, and that she even lowered her head in the way of a goat or a deer. He said, I'm Lur. The old woman, said Lady Malentia. The moon went out. Ah! She shivered once, and then her eyes recognized him. But all her body was still wild and watchful, and she came no nearer to him. You are dreaming, my lady, he said, finding knightly speech again. I would that I might know your dream. I have dreamed it before, she answered slowly. I was in a cage, and there were others, beasts in cages, and an old woman. But I will not trouble you, my lord prince. I have dreamed it many times before. She would have left him then, but he spoke to her in a voice that only heroes have, as many animals develop a certain call when they become mothers. A dream that returns so often is like to be a messenger, come to warn you of the future or to remind you of things untimely forgotten. Say more of this, if you will, and I will try to riddle it for you. Thereupon she halted, looking at him with her head a little turned, still with the air of some slim-furred creature peering out of the thicket. But her eyes held a human look of loss, as though she had missed something she needed, or suddenly realized that she had never had it. If he had even blinked, she would have been gone, but he did not blink, and he held her, as he had learned to hold griffins and chimeras, motionless with his steady gaze. Her bare feet wounded him, deeper than any tusk or riving talon ever had, but he was a true hero. The Lady Amalentia said, "In that dream there are black, barred wagons, and beasts that are and are not, and a winged being that clangs like metal in the moonlight. The tall man has green eyes and bloody hands. The tall man must be your uncle, the magician," Prince mused. "That part's clear enough, anyway, and the blood hands don't surprise me. I never cared much for his looks, but if you'll pardon me saying so, is that all the dream?" "I cannot tell you all of it," she said. "It is never finished." Fear came back Fear came back to her eyes like a great stone falling into a pool. All was clouded and swirling, and quick shadows were rushing everywhere. She said, "I am running away from a good place where I was safe, and the night is burning around me. But it is day too, and I am walking under beech trees in the warm, sour rain, and there are butterflies, and a honey sound, and dappled roads, and towns like fish bones, and the flying thing is killing the old woman. I am running and running into the freezing fire. However I turn, and my legs are the legs of a beast." "Lady," Prince Lur broke in, "my lady, by your leave, no more." Her dream was darkening into shape between them, and suddenly he did not want to know what it meant. "No more," he said. "But I must go on," said the Lady Amalenthia, "for it is never finished. Even when I wake, I cannot tell what is real and what I am dreaming as I move and speak and eat my dinner. I remember what cannot have happened and forget something that is happening to me now. People look at me as though I should know them, and I do know them in my dream. And always the fire draws nearer, though I am awake." "No more," he said desperately. "A witch built this castle, and to speak of nightmares here often makes them come true." It was not her dream that chilled him, but that she did not weep as she told it. As a hero, he understood weeping women and knew how to make them stop crying. Generally, you killed something, but her calm terror confused and unmanned him. While the shape of her face crumbled the distant dignity he had been so pleased at maintaining. When he spoke again, his voice was young and stumbling. "I would court you with more grace," he said, "if I knew how. My dragons and my feats of arms weary you, but they are all I have to offer. I haven't been a hero for very long, and before I was a hero, I was nothing at all. Nothing but my father's dull, soft son. Perhaps I am only dull in a new way now, but I am here. And it is wrong of you to let me go to waste. I wish you wanted something of me. It wouldn't have to be a valiant deed, just useful." Then the Lady Amalenthia smiled at him for the first time since she had come to stay in King Haggard's castle. It was a small smile, like the new moon, a slender blend of brightness on the edge of the unseen. But Prince Lur leaned toward it to be warm. He would have cupped his hands around her smile and breathed it brighter, if he had dared. "Sing to me," she said. "That would be valiant, to raise your voice in this dark, lonely place, and it will be useful as well. Sing to me. Sing loudly. Drown out my dreams. Keep me from remembering whatever wants me to remember it. Sing to me, my lord prince, if it please you." It may not seem a hero's task, but I will be glad of it." So Prince Ler sang out lustily, there on the cold stairway, and many damp, unseen creatures went flopping and scurrying for cover before the daylight gaily at his voice, of his voice. He sang the first words that came to him, and they were these: "When I was a young man and very well thought of, I couldn't ask aught what the ladies denied. I nibbled their hearts like a handful of raisins, and I never spoke love, but I knew that I lied. But I said to myself, they none of them know the secret I shelter and savor and save. I wait the one who will see through my seeming, and I'll know when I love by the way I behave." The years drifted over like clouds in the heavens. The ladies went by me like snow on the wind. I charmed and I cheated, deceived and dissembled, and I sinned, and I sinned, and I sinned. But I said to myself, they none of them see. There's a part of me pure as the whisk of a wave. My lady is late, but she'll find I've been faithful, and I'll know when I love by the way I behave. At last came a lady, both knowing and tender, saying you're not at all what they take you to be. I betrayed her before she had quite finished speaking, and she swallowed cold poison and jumped in the sea. And I say to myself, when there's time for a word, as I gracefully grow more debauched and depraved, love may be strong, but a habit is stronger, and I knew when I loved by the way I behaved. The Lady Amelinthia laughed when he was done, and the sound seemed to set the old darkness of the castle hissing back from them both. "That was awful," she said. "Thank you, my lord." "I don't know why I sang that one," Prince Ler said awkwardly. "One of my father's men used to sing it to me. I don't really believe it. I think that love is stronger than habits or circumstances. I think it is possible to keep yourself for someone for a long time and still remember why you were waiting when she comes at last." The Lady Amelinthia smiled again, but she did not answer, and the prince took a single step closer to her. Marveling at his own boldness, she said softly, "I would enter your sleep if I could. I guard you there, and slay the thing that hounds you, as I would do it if it had the courage to face me in fair daylight. But I cannot come in unless you dream of me." Before she could speak, if she meant to, they heard footsteps below them on the winding stair, and King Haggard's veiled voice saying, "I heard him singing. What business had he to be singing?" Then Chimendrick the royal wizard, his own voice meek and hurried, "Sire, it was but some heroic lay, some chanson, the jest, such as he often sings when he rides out to glory, or rides home to renown. Be assured, your majesty." "He never sings here," the king said. "He sings continuously on his fool's wanderings, I am sure, because that is what heroes do. But he was singing here, and not of battle and gallantry either, but of love. Where is she? I knew he was singing of love before I ever heard him, for the very stones shuddered as they do when the bull moves in the earth. Where is she?" The prince and the Lady Amalithea looked at each other in the darkness. And in that moment, they were side by side, though neither moved. With this came fear of the king, for whatever had been born between them, it might be something he wanted. A landing above them gave onto a corridor. They turned and ran together, though they could not see beyond their breaths. Her feet were as silent as the promise she had given him, but his own heavy boots rang exactly like boots on the stone floor. Oh, that is so bad. King Haggard made no pursuit, but his voice rustled down the hallway after them, whispering under the magician's words. Mice, my lord. Beyond a doubt. Fortunately, I am possessed of a singular spell. Let them run, the king said. It suits me well that they should run. When they stopped running, wherever they stopped, they looked at each other again. So the winter whined and crept along. Not toward any spring, but toward the brief, devouring summer of King Haggard's country. Life in the castle went on in the silence that fills a place where no one hopes for anything. Molly Grew cooked and laundered, scrubbed stone, mended armor, and sharpened swords. She chopped wood, milled flour, groomed horses, and cleaned their stalls, melted down stolen gold and silver for the king's coffers, and made bricks without straw. And in the evenings, before she went to bed, she usually read over Prince Lur's new poems to the Lady Amalithea and praised them, and corrected the spelling. Schmedrick fooled and juggled and film-flammed as the king bade him, hating it, and knowing that Haggard knew he hated it and took his pleasure thereby. He never again suggested to Molly that they escape from the castle before Haggard made sure of the truth of the Lady Amalithea, but he no longer sought to discover the secret way down to the Red Bull, even when he was allowed time to himself. He seemed to have surrendered, not to the king, but to some far older, crueler enemy that had caught up with him at last, this winter, in this place. The Lady Amalithea grew as much more beautiful every day as that day was grimmer and gloomier than the one before. The old men at arms, coming down drenched and shivering from walking their posts in the rain or in from stealing things for the king, opened as quietly as flowers when they met her, on the stairs or the hallways. She would smile at them and speak gently, but when she had passed by, the castle always seemed darker than ever, and the wind outside would rattle the thick sky like a sheet on a clothesline. For her beauty was human and doomed, and there was no comfort in it for old men. They could only draw their dripping cloaks tighter and limp on down to the small fire in the scullery. But the Lady Amalithea and Prince Lur walked and spoke and sang together, as blightedly as though King Haggard's castle had become a greenwood, wild and shadowy with spring. Oh. They climbed the crooked towers like hills, picnicked in stone meadows under a stone sky, and splashed up and down stairways. Oh, and splashed up and down stairways that had softened and quickened into streams. He told her everything he knew and what he thought about all of it, and happily invented a life and opinions for her, which he helped him do by listening. Nor was she deceiving him, for she truly remembered nothing before the castle and him. She began and ended with Prince Lur, except for the dreams, and they soon faded, as he had said they would. They seldom heard the hunting roar of the Red Bull at night any more, but when the hungering sound came to her ears, then she would be frightened, and the walls and the winter would grow up around them again, as though their spring were all of her making, her joy's gift to the prince. He would have held her at such times, but he had long known her dread of being touched. One afternoon, the Lady Malinthia stood on the highest tower of the castle, watching for Prince Lur's return from the expedition against a brother-in-law of the ogre he had slain. For he still went out on occasional errantries, as he had told Molly he might. The sky was piled up over the valley of Hagsgate, the color of dirty soap, but it was not raining. Far below, the sea slid out toward the smoky horizon in hard bands of silver and green and kelpy brown. The ugly birds were restless. They flew out often, two and three together, circled swiftly over the water, and then returned to strut on the sand, throttling and cocking their heads at King Haggard's castle on the cliff. Say't so, say't so. The tide was low, and near to turning. The Lady Malinthia began to sing, and her voice balanced and hovered in the slow, cold air like another song of bird. I am King Haggard's daughter, and I grow old within the prison of my person, the shackles of my skin, and I would run away and beg from door to door. She did not remember having heard the song before, but the words pinched and plucked at her like children, trying to drag her back to some place that they wanted to see again. She moved her shoulders to get away from them. But I am not old, she said to herself. I am no prisoner. I am the Lady Malinthia, beloved of Lur, who has come into my dreams so that I may not doubt myself, even while I sleep. Where could I have learned a song of sorrow? I am the Lady Malinthia, and I know only the songs of that Prince Lur has taught me. She lifted a hand to touch the mark on her forehead. The sea wheeled by, calm as a zodiac, and the ugly birds screamed. It troubled her a little that the mark would not go away. Your Majesty, she said. Though there had been no sound, she heard the rustling tuckle at her back, and turned to see the king. He wore a grey cloak over his mail, but his head was bare. The black lines on his face showed where the fingernails of age had skidded down the hard skin, but he looked stronger than his son, and wilder. You are quick for what you are, he said, but slow, I think, for what you were. It is said that love makes men swift and women slow. I will catch you at last if you love much more. You? She smiled at him without replying. She never knew what to say to the pale-eyed old man whom she rarely saw, except as a movement on the edge of the solitude that she shared with Prince Lur. Then Armor winked deep in the valley, and she heard the scrape of a weary horse stumbling on stone. Your son is coming home. Oh, wait, wrong voice. Your son is coming home, she said. Let us watch him together. King Haggard came slowly to stand beside her at the parapet, but he gave no more than a glance to the tiny, glinting figure riding home. Nay, what concern have you or I with Lur truly? He asked. He is none of mine, either by birth or belonging. I picked him up where someone else had set him down, thinking that I had never been happy and never had a son. It was pleasant enough at first, but it died quickly. All things die when I pick them up. I do not know why they die, but it has always been so, save for the one dear possession that has not turned cold and dull as I guarded it, the only thing that has ever belonged to me. His grim face gave the sudden starved leap of a sprung trap. And Lur will be no help to you in finding it, he said. He has never even known what it is. Without warning, the whole castle sang like a plucked string as the beast asleep at its root shifted its dire weight. The Lady Amalithea caught her balance easily, being well used to this, and said lightly, "The Red Bull. But why do you think I have come to steal the bull? I have no kingdom to keep, and no wish for a conquest. What would I do with him? How much does he eat?" "Do not mock me," the king answered. "The Red Bull is no more mine than the boy is. He does not eat, and he cannot be stolen. He serves anyone who has no fear, and I have no more fear than I have rest." Yet the Lady Amalithea saw forebodings sliding over the long grey face, scuttling in the shadows of brows and bones. "Do not mock me," he said. "Why will you play that you have forgotten your quest, and that I am to remind you of it? I know what you have come here for, and you know very well that I have it. Take it, then. Take it if you can. But do not dare to surrender now." The black wrinkles were all on edge like knives. Prince Lur was singing as he rode. Though the Lady Amalithea could not yet hear the words, she said quietly to the king, "My lord, in all your castle, in all your realm, in all the kingdoms that the Red Bull may bring you, there is only one thing I desire, and you have just told me that he is not yours to give or to keep. Whatever it is you treasure that is not he, I truly wish you joy of it. Good day, your majesty." She moved toward the tower stairway, and he stood in her way and paused, looking at him with her eyes as dark as hoofprints in snow. The Grey King smiled, and a strange kindness for him chilled her for an instant, for she suddenly fancied that they were somehow alike. But then he said, "I know you. I almost knew you as soon as I saw you on the road, coming to my door with your cook and your clown. Since then, there is no movement of yours that has not betrayed you. A pace, a glance, a turn of the head, the flash of your throat as you breathe, even your way of standing perfectly still. They were all my spies. You have made me wonder for a little while, and in my own way I am grateful. But your time is done." He looked seaward over his shoulder, and suddenly stepped to the parapet with the toothless grace of a young man. "The tide is turning," he said. "Come and see it. Come here." He spoke very softly, but his voice suddenly held the crying of the ugly birds on the shore. "Come here," he said fiercely. "Come here. I won't touch you." Prince Lur sang, "I will love you as long as I can, however long that may be." The horrible head on his saddle was harmonizing in a kind of bass falsetto. The Lady Amalithea went to stand with the king. The waves were coming in under the thick, swirling sky, growing as slowly as trees as they bulged across the sea. They crouched as they neared the shore, arching their backs higher and higher, and then sprang up the beach as furiously as trapped animals, bounding at a wall and falling back with a sobbing snarl to leap again. And again, claws kicked and breaking. Oh, breaking, while the ugly birds yelled mournfully. The waves were gray and green as pigeons until they broke, and then they were the color of the hair that blew across his eyes. "There!" a strange high voice said closer to her. "There they are!" King Haggard was grinning at her and pointing down to the white water. "There they are," he said, laughing like a frightened child. "There they are. Say that they are not your people. Say that you did not come here searching for them. Say now that you have stayed all winter in my castle for love." He could not wait for her answer, but turned away to look at the waves. His face was changed beyond believing, the light coloring the somber skin, rounding over the cheekbones and loosening the bowstring mouth. "They are mine," he said softly. "They belong to me. The Red Bull gathered them for me, one at a time, and I bade him drive each one into the sea. Whatever place could there be to keep unicorns, and what other cage could hold them? For the bull keeps guard over them, awake or asleep, and he daunted their hearts long ago, until they live, blah, blah. Now they live in the sea, and every tide still carries them within an easy step of the land. But they dare not take that step. They dare not come out of the water. They are afraid of the Red Bull." Nearby Prince Lur sang, "Others may offer more Others may offer more than they can give, all that they have for as long as they live." The Lady Amelinthia closed her hands on the parapet and wished for him to come to her, for she knew now that King Haggard was mad. Below them lay the thin, shallow beach, and the rocks, and the rising tide, and nothing more. "I like to watch them, they fill me with joy." The childish voice was all but singing. "I am sure it is joy. The first time I felt it, I thought I was going to die. There were two of them in the early morning shadows. One was drinking from a stream, and the other was resting her head on his back. I thought I was going to die. I said to the Red Bull, 'I must have that. I must have all of it, all there is, for my need is very great.' But the bull caught them one by one. So the bull caught them one by one. It was all the same to the bull. It would have been the same if I had demanded tumblebugs or crocodiles. He can only tell the difference between what I want and what I do not want." He had forgotten her for the moment as he leaned over the low wall, and she might have fled the tower then, but she stayed where she was, for an old bad dream was waking all around her, though it was daylight. The tide shattered on the rocks and tumbled together again, and Prince Lur rode along singing, "But I will love you as long as I can, and never ask if you love me." "I suppose I was young when I first saw them," King Haggard said. "Now I must be old. At least I have picked many more things up than I had then, and put them all down again. But I always knew that nothing was worth the investment of my heart, because nothing lasts. And I was right. And so I was always old. Yet each time I see my unicorns, it is like the morning in the woods, and I am truly young in spite of myself. And anything can happen in the world that holds such beauty. In the dream I looked down at four white In the dream I looked down at four white legs and felt the earth under split hoofs. There was a burning on my brow, as there is now, but there were no unicorns coming in on the tide. The king is mad," he said. "I wonder what will become of them when I am gone. The Red Bull will forget them immediately, I know, and be off to find a new master. But I wonder if they will take their freedom even then. I hope not, for then they will belong to me forever." Then he turned to look at her again, and his eyes were as gentle and greedy as Prince Lur's eyes became when he looked at her. "You are the last," he said. "The bull missed you because you were shaped like a woman, but I always knew. How did you manage to change? By the way, your magician couldn't have done it. I don't think he could turn cream into butter." If she had let go of the parapet, she would have fallen. But she answered him quite calmly. "My lord, I do not understand. I see nothing at all in the water." The king's face shivered as though she were looking at him through fire. "Do you still deny yourself?" he whispered. "Do you dare deny yourself? Nay, that's as false and cowardly as though you were truly human. I'll hurl you down to your folk with my own hands if you deny yourself." He took a step toward her, and she watched him with eyes open, unable to move. The tumult of the sea filled her head, together with Prince Lur's singing, and the blubbering death wail of the man named Rook. King Haggard's great face hung over her like a hammer, muttering, "It must be so. I cannot be mistaken, yet her eyes are as stupid as his, as any eyes that never saw unicorns, never saw anything but themselves in glass. What cheat is this? How can it be? There are no green leaves in her eyes now." Then she did close her eyes, but she shut in more than she kept out. The bronze-winged creature with a hag's face swung by, laughing and prattling, and the butterfly folded its wings to strike. The Red Bull moved silently through the forest, pushing the bare branches aside with his pale horns. She knew when King Haggard went away, but she did not open her eyes. It was long after, or only a little while later, that she heard the magician's voice behind her. Be still, it's over." She had not known that she was making any sound. "In the sea," he said. "In the sea." "Well, don't feel too bad about it. I didn't see them either. Not this time, or any other that I've stood here and watched the tide come in. But he saw them. And if Haggard sees something, it's there." He laughed in a sound like an axe falling on wood. "Don't feel bad. This is a witch's castle, and it's hard to look closely at things, living here. It's not enough to be ready to see. You have to be looking all the time." He laughed again, more gently. "All right," he said. "We'll find them now. Come on, come with me." She turned to him, moving her mouth to make words, but no words came out. The magician was studying her face with his green eyes. "Your face is wet," he said worriedly. "I hope that's spray. If you've become human enough to cry, then no magic in the world. Oh, it must be spray. Come with me. It had better be spray." Okay, guys, that was chapter 11. Oh my god. That is, oh my god. I didn't cry, but dang, he found her, guys. He found her. Oh, the evil guy found her. That is so bad. You asked what my favorite Disney character is? I really like Bambi. Bambi is one of my favorite Disney characters. I really love the movie, and I think Bambi 2 is better than Bambi 1. Yes, the best in my opinion. Wait, what book are you reading? I am reading The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. Oh, Molly. Molly's in, like, the main character? No, Molly is a side character. She is the main character's friend, and the main character is Leia Melinthia, who is the unicorn. Miracle, yes. It is Prince Lur learning that love is a miracle. Just kidding. No, but really. Let's go. Okay, you're not using VR? I am not using VR. I am using Reality, which is an app on, I think iPhone as well as the Apple Store and the App Store for Android. Okay, that's not no VR. The cat. Yeah, the cat is still there, but he never talked again, sadly. A talking cat would have been so cool. Oh, okay, sad. Hashtag Ang Parade. Oh my gosh, thank you for rating Mario Party. Hi. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by, Mario Party. Really appreciate it. Don't worry, I'll make a post thanking you and inviting all my subscribers to join you as well, okay? Hi, TuneLink. Hi. Hello. Thank you for coming in, guys. Sorry, I was reading. Just by the way, I always help out small YouTube creators. You are welcome, Bunny, by the way. Thank you so much, PokeKid. I really appreciate it. If you like what you see, I really appreciate that you have subscribed. Thank you, Neville. I've been subbed. I love her live stream. They are the best. Hi. I was on chapter 11. Next time I will be on chapter 12. It's because the chapters are really long, and also like since I'm trying to voice every character differently, it's like tiring my throat out a little bit, which that's also why I ask y'all to stay hydrated as well. Nevea, maybe I check one out, maybe. I hope Bunny is doing well. I am doing well, Mario Party. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. PokeKids shamefully. Okay, I can Eevee sing better than this, lol. I mean, just making a point, lol. Hey, I can sing better. I just didn't, okay? I just also, like, I don't know how to sing it. They have no notes. They have no notes, okay? I can sing better, though. I can. But now's not the time. My throat is really tired. I am not a professional singer either, so I can sing choir like because I was in choir when I was younger, but I am not the best singer. I can also like I mean, I could sing when I feel like it. But most of the time I'm just like chilling. You know what I mean? Just a bunny. Just chilling, guys. Come on. Let's chill together. What's up, Kingbot? That's how you say it, right? I hope that's how you say it because I'm afraid it might have come off wrong. But yeah, I was on chapter I think it's chapter 11. Yeah, I was on chapter 11 and now I'm going to be in chapter 12 next time. We are almost done with this book. But this chapter was like super long, guys. Hold on, let me see. I'll find the page. And then I'll show y'all how many pages this is. Okay. It's 197 and then 222. Okay? How many pages do y'all think that is? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pages, guys. 13 pages. But honestly, I think this is the best chapter yet. I love this chapter. It was amazing. See, my favorite part was seeing Prince Lur just like, learn to, be more like expressive and, kind, caring, and loving and happy and stuff. I thought that was very cute. But oh my god, guys, King Haggard knows she's a unicorn. I think he knew all along. That's why he was mad, and then that's why he let them stay so long. But then the way freaking Schmendrick reacted at the end is like it has me kind of worried too, because I'm like, bro, what do you mean? What do you mean? I don't know. It's actually like kind of scaring me, because she is a unicorn after all. You know what I mean? She should be happy and free, you know? But if she can't be, I mean, I don't know. Wouldn't that be kind of sad? I think it would be. Anyways, there's 3 more chapters left. Thank you so much everyone for stopping by. And if y'all liked what you saw, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. Please stay hydrated. Have a great day or night. And bye. Bye-bye. Goodbye, everybody. Have fun. Oh, sorry. Bye bye. Stay hydrated. Have a great day or night. Bye.